Hello everyone, today I'm going to go through the 34 vacuums I have in my collection so far. So let's get started. So first off, right here we have the Oryx. Now most of these vacuums that I have in the collection are from thrift store or eBay. I think I got one or two off of Facebook Marketplace. So anyways, the Oryx. This is the last Oryx I got, is this Oryx Pilot. It's not too bad, I like it. And I like it, the swivel is pretty cool on it, so you can get around the corners and stuff pretty easily. And I've got the white one. That one I got off of, I believe it was eBay. And then I think the rest of the Oryx I got from Facebook Marketplace, I believe. I know this XL21 I did. I believe the blue XL I did got from Marketplace also. The yellow one I believe came from Goodwill. It's hard to remember sometimes, it's been so long. So I've got 5 Oryx, and I've got the Hoover collection over here. So I've got the Wide Path Tempo. It's a nice one. Again, that one came from Goodwill. And I got the newer Hoover. I don't know what series that is. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's a wind tunnel. It's one of the few of the canisters that I have. I'm, as you can tell, particular to bagged vacuums. So I've got 2 of the older style wind tunnels right here, self-propelled. I believe that green one is the older one. And then here's the Hoover convertible. That's a nice one. It's a hard shell instead of an outer cloth bag. My grandma had one of these when I was growing up. And I've got a Hoover Elite 200. That one, Goodwill. I did wash the outer cloth bag because it was quite dirty, so when I got it, they didn't have an inner bag. So I had to clean the outer bag because it was dirty. Then we got the Kirby's. So I've got 2 G4s. That one you could obviously say I got from Goodwill. That one right there, that G4 was my first vacuum in the collection. Wasn't the first one I owned, but that one, that model is the one that I used when I was growing up, so that's why that one was the first one. That one I got for $5 at the SPCA thrift store. And I've got this Heritage 2. Kirby, of course. I did not wash this bag. I did wash these 2 G4 bags. This one is in decent shape. They have, you know, they're not super shiny, but they do have their patina that I personally like over a nice shiny. Depends on the vacuum though. And this was a newer one that I just got, the Kirby Centria. It's seen some wear, as you can see. The bag is faded. I believe it was probably left in the sun for a long time. So I'm going to try and look for a new bag for this. And the handle's got some wear on it, but overall it's pretty good. Then of course the mighty Rainbow. This is the Rainbow SE. So it's got the upgraded power head of that year. Power nozzle SE. And then I've got these. So this is one of my older vacuums, the Electrolux. Right here. The tank style, so as they say. There's the hose for it. So that one I believe is late 30s. And I've got this older mid 30s Hoover. It's in decent condition. It's a bit rough on the outside, but it works great. That's nice. And I've got a newer style Electrolux canister vacuum there. That's the, you can read that upside down. That's the, what is it, the Electrolux 2100. And I've got the power nozzle for that too. And then back behind there is the Bissell Spot Bot. It's missing its solution tank, as I cannot find one. And I've got the Eureka Mighty Might and its hose is hanging up with the rest. We move on to my commercial vacuum collection, which is slowly growing. So on the front here, I've got the Windsor XP12, which works great. So this is the one that's got the auto adjust for your brush roll. Tells you if your bag is full and if the brush roll is stuck. That's in decent condition. Got that one off of eBay. Sadly, it does have the wrong style of handle, as this is the blue one, which I believe is the older generation maybe, and you can tell this has the yellow accents, so that's the wrong one. I need to find a new handle for that. And then next we got the Clean Max Pro Series, again in decent condition, used, you know, so there's scuff marks and stuff, but it runs. Its cord is in rough shape. There are spots where it's been kinked and torn, so I need to replace this. Has no ground plug on it, but they're easy because you can just unplug it and get a new one. I do need to get a new pigtail also, because as you can see, the cord retaining clip has been broken, so I'm using some spare sanitary ones that I have. And speaking of which, there's my sanitary. That is an older model, the SC 688, I believe. Originally it had the Arm & Hammer bags that are hanging up here in the closet. Those are quite thick, and it's the older style connector there that screws on. So I got the newer style bag that uses the FNG connection for the inside bag. And what I did to get this to work is I looked on the bottom of it and noticed that it had the little pin there. I'll take it off if I can. It's more difficult than I realized. So when I was looking at this, I noticed it had this little pin on it, but it didn't have this. So I flipped it over, and I noticed it had the screw hole in there. The little plastic, you know, thing for the screw was there, but this wasn't. So I bought this clip thing on eBay, and then and this hole perfectly, as you can see, maybe it does seal around it, just barely around the corners there. So that seals, and it just clips right on there like normal. Set this back up here. I'll put that back together later. And as we move on, I got my Dysons. So this is the first Dyson I got, is the DC-15. The first generation they had with the ball. And then I've got the DC-14 right before that. Used the same canister as you can see, but it has no ball. And then I've got the DC-07 pink right here. It does need new clutch or belts because the brush roll isn't too powerful, but it does work. And I've got this Royal vacuum that's, I believe, marketed for the residential, you know, sector. It's a nice vacuum. It actually works great for my rugs because it's got such a high airflow, but it's not as aggressive as the Kirby's, because the Kirby's will actually suck the carpet to it and I can't move the vacuum. But this one does great because it doesn't suck too much, and the brush roll isn't as stiff as the other one. And then I've got a Royal Pro Series. As if you can tell, that looks familiar. That looks just like this wide path over here from Hoover. That's because I believe it's TTI, who owns both, used that design for the Royal Pro Series and just threw their name on it. This is exactly the same front and back. Decent vacuum, but you know how that goes. Then Eureka. I don't know what model that is. I'd have to look. You can let me know if you want to know and I can tell you. And behind that I've got the Eureka Smart Vac. It does have some bearing issues because someone used it without a bag, so that one doesn't get used that often. And then I got this Gary, which is a Auric XL knockoff just because I thought it was interesting. I may get rid of that eventually because I don't particularly like it. One curious quirk about it though is it does have a hose, which does not work very well. If you try to use it, you can tell it puts a strain on the motor, or a lack of strain really, because there's just not this design isn't designed for a hose, and it doesn't have that much suction. But it does have a hose, and it does have the extension tubes. Put this back. Then in front of that, I've got my Riccar 8900, which is a really nice vacuum. I do love it. HEPA. I've got the HEPA bag in it. And this doesn't have, you know, no attachments or anything, but it's nice and quiet. That's what I do like about it. And then back here I've got just two little stick vacs, one from Bissell and then one from Dirt Devil. Basically the same thing. And then I've got my Electrolux carpet beautifier, which unfortunately does not have any brushes on it at the moment. I need to find those. And then that's it. Oh, and then here's the hoses I just got hanging up in the closet for. This one is for the Mighty Mite, and this is the dry, or the wet, I'm sorry, the wet hose for the Rainbow. And then the Kirby G4 hose. I don't have any attachments for any of the other Kirbys, just the G4, because I bought that one with the accessories. And that's it. That's the full collection here. Give you another little look around. So there's the Aurics, the Hoovers, the Kirbys, the little miscellaneous section with one or two, the commercials, and the Dyson, and then Royal, Eureka, and the rest. And I do have some others that are part of, but there are other places, either outside on the back porch, because that's the one I use outside, and that is a Dirt Devil, I forget what it is, but it's a canister vacuum, and that one gets abused outside, sucks up dirt and all that stuff. It still works great. And I've got a Dyson V6 battery powered stick vac that I use at work. That works great. Modified it actually so I can use my tool batteries on it. The rigid 18-volt batteries work great on it after I modified it. Let me know if you want to see that, because that makes it run so much longer. I don't have to charge it every time. I do like that. Side note, I've got a collection of old kitchen appliances there. That's another little thing I can look at. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day.